Let me start out by saying to you, time is the master. For everyone who have endured some terrible things in life, time is the master. But what is very important is what you do with your time. And I'm going to say that you ought to live your life in a very prayerful mode, where as you go through your day, it's a constant state of connecting with spirit, talking to spirit, calling out to spirit to lead you to somehow put a shield of protection around you. I'm going to take the liberty of saying that a lot of what goes on in our families, a lot of the painful things we endure, that is because of family. Okay. I'm also going to say that in Jamaica, I would say 99% of the violence that is measured out against people are as a result of family or friends. Those of you who have great connection to family, bless up yourself, big up yourself. But I think, as is the case with stories in the Bible, and we're going to look at Joseph in this video and see how Joseph was sold into slavery by his brothers. Why? Because he dared to dream. And we could look at that in different ways. But he actually had a dream, and he shared his dream with his brothers, and they didn't like what he was saying. And as a result, they captured him, threw him in a pit. Well, not luckily for him, because oftentimes what the enemy means for good, for evil, the Most High will use it for good. So they threw him in a pit and sold him into slavery. Of course, they were going to destroy him. But somehow you must know that regardless of what people's intention is for your life, when you are chosen, when there's a certain path that you must tread, no one can stop you from purpose. Okay. So in spite of the plot to do this terrible thing to their brother, Joseph was sold into captivity, and that was going to be something that would come back to save the very people who tried to destroy him. Listen, people, I'm going to be bold enough to say that I'd say at least 90% of the violent crimes that are in Jamaica are as a result of family plotting and scheming against each other due to jealousy, hatred built up in these people's heart, sometimes for no apparent reason. There are times when you are struggling and you're suffering. There are times when you're, oh my goodness, don't let me start preaching today. Because when I think about days gone by, when I had my two children, one on my back and one strapped in front of me in a snuggly, having to leave my house at 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning to drop them in two different directions to daycare and to go the opposite direction. And every time there's a horrible snowstorm and people were told to stay home, I was never blessed enough with that opportunity to stay home, because I either had a class, I had an exam, and I had to travel at least 1 hour away from my home, each direction to the daycare where my children went and back to my work. It was not an easy life. But because you're the type of person that don't really complain to people about your life, they assume that everything is wonderful for you. Now, what I really want to talk about in this video is to say that understand who you are, understand your purpose, but also understand your enemies. And after you get to a certain point in your life, when you have overcome a lot of things, you can then become too emotional and allow individuals to draw you back in. You have to know the people for what they are, especially when they clearly show you they don't like you. In fact, you can use the H word. They actually HATEU. And you're not trying to figure this out because you've had 1 year, 2 years, you've had decades to see, well, this is not in my mind. Sometimes people don't like you. And you don't want to believe that it's true because you love them. But it doesn't matter how much you love them, your love for them will not insulate you from what they will do to destroy you. And so there comes a time when you have to say, mother, father, brother, sister, children, if they show you that they don't like you, then you have to stop putting yourself in their way to destroy you. But that's not even the focus of this video here. The focus of it is to say to you, sometimes people plot and plan against you, plan against your life to do you harm, and they don't know who you serve. They don't know you're special. They don't know you're chosen. So when they attack you, what they would have done is raise the flames of hell against themselves. And so it is not easy to see your enemies and see the work that they're doing and the effort they make, slander your name. They come with all kinds of poison on their tongue and they throw it on you. Sometimes the things they do in the past, they're not satisfied. Remember, the persons who really resent you, for whatever reason they have to resent you, they will never stop. It becomes like a thing that, you see, hatred and bad mind and all the things that we use to describe wicked people. Listen, they go to bed thinking about you and wake up in the morning thinking about you, and you see it, they get ugly and uglier by the day because they're coming up with things in their mind about what they can do to destroy you. They have no peace inside. And when they watch you and they see that all the things they've done, demonic and otherwise, they see you still prospering. Now you can't take credit for that and say, look at me, I'm all wonderful. I'm, so great that they were not able to destroy me. You have to then go to your creator, go to your spirit guide, go to that inner consciousness to always remember to say, look at what you did for me. How could I have escaped this or that without your love and your blessing? And that makes you more humble. That puts you in a place where you're forever in that place of gratitude to see you have escaped. And sometimes you'll never see some of the danger you escape. Sometimes you'll never see it. Not everyone has that spirit of discernment. Not everyone has the ability to see the thing before it happens. Some of us are blessed with that gift, but we're all gifted in one way or the other. A person like me, I see it before it happens. I'm not asking you, I'm telling you. I literally hear conversations where people open their mouth and talk to people in the natural realm, and I go to my bed and I hear word for word what is uttered. That's my blessing. And I have seen many things. I've seen many plots, start. And I see the Spirit, the most holiest of holy, decimate those plans. Sometimes I have plans to do something and the Spirit comes to me and says, no, 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 you cannot do that. You cannot do that. I don't want you to go here. I don't want you to go there. And I always listen. I try to listen because I know there are times when I'm disobedient, but when it comes to about my safety and my well-being, I listen because I know you don't listen, you're going to feel. So you're looking on all the stuff that has been done to you in the natural and in the supernatural, and it hurts you emotionally and it's affected you physically. It has destroyed your mental health in some ways, or financially. These ones wanted to destroy you. This is why I constantly say be careful about where you're, spending your money and who is handling your money, because that is one of those big tools. We know the kind of energy that is attached to money. And so those who are quite greedy, after a while, the little precious that is attached to that money then becomes a part of them, and all they do is desire it. They're craving it. They will destroy the fruit of their womb to get it. They will steal from the dead. These ones are dangerous. Stay away from people who will steal from the dead. Stay away from individuals who don't care what they do to other persons as long as they get a step up. These ones are sometimes your friends, sometimes your family. They're a scary bunch. You're not going to fear them more than you fear the creator. But you have to be wise when you watch them as they operate in that low frequency, when they operate in that lower body that, doesn't have any conscience. These ones are very scary. And you can't tell yourself, I'm not afraid of you. It's not about being afraid about somebody. It's about seeing them for who they are and believing this is who these individuals are. You look at their track record and you know, these ones are very dangerous. Don't play with them. Sidestep them. Avoid them. Keep your dreams bottled inside. Don't share your dreams. You have some dream killers, people. You share your dreams and it's over for you. But at the same time, having said all of this, when you know that you had suffered at the hands of people that you love, and you see how you got delivered, how complete strangers came to your rescue, how you had to turn to people who don't even bear the same skin color as yourself, and you have to acknowledge that, oh my gosh, these people were sent. Their journey, men and women, angels that come to deliver you from your very own family. It's scary. But I can tell you today that I look on and I smile. Look at the pictures in the beginning. Big smile on my face. And of course, a lot of side looks. Because I say to myself, if it was not for the grace of the Most High, I would be under 6 feet under from mental and spiritual bondage and breakdowns. I'm talking to somebody in this video and I'm saying to you, don't worry. Don't worry about the wicked. Watch them. They shall destroy themselves. The more they dislike you and the more they do to try to, bind you, the more they're doing that to themselves. And they don't realize, especially when they're children, what they try to do to you will befall their own children. And their children, unfortunately, is going to have to find ways how to break the curse. Because the things you do to other person, even if you don't experience that in this life, you would have then sown the seed for that generational curse. I wish no one evil, especially upon their children. But when the kids suffer, when the parents eat the sour grape, the children's teeth go on edge. They don't realize, they think, oh, I'm just doing this. They don't realize that the things you're doing to other people, you're essentially doing that to your own bloodline. Some of these people are very wicked, very evil, and they're destroying their own bloodline without even realizing it. Listen, I escaped and I continue to walk through the shadows and the darkness. And if it was not for the grace of the Most High, listen to me, they would have conquered me. But I am here standing. I'm standing. I'm still standing. I am standing and I'm giving thanks for time and the essence of time that brought me out of all kinds of tribulation. And I can stand here and say to you, this too will pass, and you will see your enemies eat their own flesh and feed upon each other. You will recognize all your enemies and you will not have to go in search of them. They will just present themselves and show who they are. 15, 14, 13 years ago, they were your enemy. They are still your enemy today. Stay blessed, everyone.